Good afternoon. Welcome back to Racing from the 66th Annual National Family Island Regatta, downtown Georgetown. Dwight racing in the final big boy class, A class. Welcome, welcome, welcome from wherever you are watching around the world. I'm Reg Smith. With me, my sidekick Dwight Hart. We have all of the racing for you for today, the final day of racing in 2019. Dwight, here we are.
I can hardly wait, Reg. I can hardly wait. This is the finale, the end. A-Class, the big dogs, and Reg, we are standing right now. We sat for the first 2 days, and now this is the final race, and we have just given up on the seats because we expect this to be an exciting race to the end. We have a similar situation as was presented to had two boats that were tied in first place. Some dove with how that all ended up. We have a similar situation, slightly two boats that have won first and second. Running Tide come at second in the first race, Legend come at second in the first race. But we understand that there were some point deductions applied to the Running Tide, and so the point differential has differed quite a bit. But as it were, I think going into this final race, if my numbers are correct, we have the Running Tide with 5 points. She's in second place. And we have the Tidal Wave with 6 points. And so there are some scenarios that we can play around with the kind has a better chance because she has 3 points. So if she wins it, she wins the outright. If she comes second, she also still wins the outright. If she comes third, she also still wins it. If she comes fourth or lower, and the Tidal Wave
okay, I'm going to stop you there. Right.
There's a possibility that things could change.
Here's the story, folks. Two brothers.
Mark
Knowles,
David Knowles.
David Knowles.
Yeah.
Sailing two boats built by a third brother, Mark Knowles.
Yeah.
What a story. Get into everything, and before the race starts, we want to introduce to you Keith Carroll,
the coach
for the Long Island team.
Yeah.
And we had a chat with him earlier, so let's run that now. And this is Coach, ladies and gentlemen.
Keith Carroll.
All right, Keith Carroll, Running Tide is the new Legend, your boat. What do you expect tomorrow? What are you going to do different? How are you guys going to pull them off to win this?
Well, we sailed pretty good today, but our jib was a little bit too big. Captain Davis said it was baffling to sail. The Running Tide sailed a good race. We let them. She chalked away from her 3 times. We didn't go behind her, and I think that was a mistake. But we and the Running Tide will be going in final day of racing tied. So tomorrow we'll be back to square one.
Now the conditions were better than what was predicted today. How much is tomorrow's race?
Now they're going for lighter breeze tomorrow, so I think it might be to our advantage. But never know, you know.
Okay, now finally, that's 2 Long Island boats with a chance to become the champion this year in the A class. Of course, everybody's talking about that other boat. What's going on with the Tidal Wave? Where are they in all
well,
this?
Tidal Wave is sailing better than she did in the Bahamas games and what she did last year in Georgetown. She have 3 doing good. She getting back up there. But 3 fights today, and he right now is favored to win all 3 races again. A, B. The only one can stop him from doing that is the Legend. So So we'll try to do that tomorrow. But anyway, all the trophies will be going back to Long Island. And I want to say to Long Island people, all your sailors in Georgetown is making you proud.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Reg Smith, Dwight Hart for the 66th Annual National Family Island Regatta. We're about to get started with the big boys, A-Class Racing from Elizabeth Harbor. And the line is set right in front of Monument, which is the beacon, according to us. It's the second highest elevation in the Bahamas. What a beautiful setting, an iconic setting for the start of this final race of the 2019 series. And we are on the water. Dwight, run it down for us.
All right, Reg, if you could take a peek into your binoculars to see if you can tell us exactly where they are on the line. But we've got
across the field. We're going to start with New Courageous. Red Stripe. Rough Justice. Ed Sky. Running Tide.
Tidal Wave.
Tidal Wave. Looks like Southern Cross. And on the far end, that's going to be the big dog right under the monument. What's interesting is her mast is sticking straight up parallel to the monument. Does that tell you anything, Dwight?
Tells you she has a tall mast.
Folks, we have a lot of fun with this because Dwight his heart is set on seeing a real fight between Tidal Wave.
I want to see a fight, right? I want to see a fight, and it really doesn't matter to me who dukes it out at the end. I want to see a good race. We've seen a couple of races where one boat has dominated once she got a lead. I'd like to see a duel, Red. It's an attacking duel where there's a dare going on. I dare you to attack. I dare you to attack.
You have your duel because it started. Okay. The sails are up. Everybody. Special start for us. We anchored. It's an anchored start. You pull on the anchors. Up go the sails. Every boat on the line, with the exception of the boat on the starboard end of the line, must go to starboard. And so as we can see now, the boat at the starboard end of the line.
All right.
And that is going to be Legend. No, that's going to be...
Well, we've got, I think, is that the good news and Red Stripe coming towards us?
Yes.
And going away in the opposite direction.
Legend has gone in the opposite direction.
So you've got the Legend, I think Southern Cross, Running Tide, Tidal Wave, New Courageous, Rough Justice.
All on starboard.
Or Ed Sky, I should say, is a correction in there. And it may be New Courageous, Red Stripe, and Good News possibly coming towards us. Reg, you may need your binoculars to help us up.
Here is something, before we go to that, right? Here's something that's going to come into play this afternoon, very much so, because so the starboard port rule is going to be very important. Which side of the course you're on. And right now, the majority of the fleet has gone to starboard.
And now they're starting to come
back on port.
They're starting to come back because we now see the Legend has now made attack, Reg.
So Legend is not wasting any time. She's come over on port because the other one is positioning. This one is definitely gaining. And so she's put her nose pretty much directly on this mark in front of us here. So we're going to get to see them come right here, hopefully, and turn in front of us.
Well, the Legend is definitely just going across Southern Cross and also Running Tide. Tidal Wave has also tacked back, and so she's now coming back also. And as you can see, so Tidal Wave right now trying to cover the Legend. And I think Good News has also decided to come back already. And right now, we've got three boats still on the original track, and that is the Legend, the Running Tide, and also Good News. Obviously,
Good News is your fourth boat from the left, Dwight. She's still going over on starboard, and she doesn't seem to be quite set to race yet.
Yeah.
Why don't you look at the size of these sails, Dwight? They're huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. These are what we call clouds.
Right.
And although we said that Legend has the biggest out there, look at the other boats. Tidal Wave, New Courageous, they're all covered up.
Yeah.
Even Red Stripe has on a big sail.
Some more action out on the course.
Tacking
Running Tide
together.
and Southern Cross now doing a dual
A
tack.
dance.
Yeah, they're doing a dance. And you can see it on your screen right now. Running Tide to the left, Southern Cross to the right.
Here's an interesting point. Coming over on port tack, can Southern Cross say with Tide away?
Well, Running Tide.
Or
is
running
who
tide.
she sails
Can
with
she
right
say
now.
with running tide?
I doubt it, but we'll see. And so, it looks like the tidal wave is certainly holding a good line, Reg, as she's coming, and so is the Legend.
So is the Legend. Rough Justice on that same tack. Way over here is Courageous. On the far left of the course. Red Stripe is also there. The next tack is going to be extremely interesting because Legend has come down the middle of the course going very, very fast on port tack. She's going to cover the 5 boats that you see to our left. She's going to cover all of those boats very, very quickly. She has to look out for Running Tide and Southern Cross on her.
Well, there's a picture right now. Well, we just had it up on the screen. Aerial view. There you go. Tidal Wave, Rough Justice, making their way up the middle of the course. And still a bit too early, Reg, at this point to say who has the lead, but it certainly looks like Legend and the Tidal Wave may be.
Well, Legend definitely has the lead, and she's going to come over the top of Rough Justice and Tidal Wave in just a moment. The boat is very, very powerful, and you can see that. Watch the gap between Rough Justice and Legend, and watch it close. I don't know if we can see that on our screen, but watch that gap close as Legend comes over the top of her because she's reaching so much faster.
Well, we're going to have a view coming up right now from our drone, and I think from that particular view, Reg, you're going to be able to kind of see exactly where these boats are on the course. So we're just going to ask that drone view to come into play, and there you go.
Let's talk a little bit about the weather. The wind is holding.
Yeah.
It said a while ago 0, but we know that's not true. So we're looking at maybe 8 knots out on the open water. The wind is always more on the open water than we're going to feel here in the shelter of the island. So if you look at these boats heeling over, that they're really, really getting some good breeze with the big sails that they have. And Legend has just powered over Rough Justice. She's gone over Rough Justice.
Well, Rough
Next
Justice
is going to be
she's
Tidal
also a lot closer to the mark than Rough Justice too.
Oh, yeah.
So
and Tidal Wave and Courageous, and all the boats to her right. And nobody has come back to challenge her yet. Have you noticed that? No one has come back.
no, I think at this point it probably would be a mistake because you need to take advantage of where there is some wind blowing, and right now the only wind we have blowing seems to be coming
In the middle of the course?
in the middle of the course.
But what about the right side here?
Well, at some point, Reg, they're going to
Running
also
Tide's certainly coming.
have to come back. Still quite a ways off, though.
Let's watch the tack between coming to the mark. Where's Legend going to tack? Mark will come all the way up here.
All right. And then once you look at your drone view, as you can see, they almost look, Reg, from that position that they're in a straight line. And we know that's not exactly. See from the drone, you have the Legend to your far right, you have the Tidal Wave in the middle, and it looks like the new Courageous just to the left. And Reg, I think those are your top 3 boats coming to the mark right now. Tidal Wave seemingly from this angle having a slight lead. I don't know whether it's possible for Burton to just swing that drone just right around to the left.
Well, look at that picture, and you'll see that Legend is coming over the top of Tidal Wave as we speak.
And that's kind of, and as you can see from that angle, as that drone swings around a little bit more to the left, you can see an attack back right now, and she certainly
Now she's
has
tacked
tacked
back probably because she sees Running Tide coming. And Running Tide, she knows, will attack.
Yeah. Well, that's the race between Running Tide and the Legend. Out for first place. Now, the Legend, obviously, Reg, cannot make the mark from that spot.
Well, this is a position tack right now.
Yeah.
It's not a gaining. This is a position. And so she's looking at running tide. Running tide is still coming, but Legend has run into dead air. She's tacked into a dead spot. So we're going to see whether running tide's going to come right over the top of her, because that dead air usually means, too, that you're going to get knocked. So now we are going to watch these two boats come together. Boats on the port side of the course haven't tacked yet.
Not
so
yet.
They're going all the way over.
But if you look at the four boats, Reg, along that, seems like the tidal wave is making the most forward speed, because it looks good news and New Courageous are almost at a standstill. Tidal wave seems to be still kind of meandering around, not too fast, but
she's
moving
closer
along.
too.
Yeah,
she's a lot closer to the mark.
and she's actually
tacking right
now
now.
just about to tack.
I don't
So-
think she's on a ley line. I think she's just positioning herself because she sees that Legend, and this is the one I want us to watch, both Legend running tide coming over on port tack. Legend on starboard has the right of way, but it looks like running tide just may have gotten across her. Let's see if that happens.
I think she's across. She's
Here they come.
certainly across. As a matter of fact, Southern Cross may also be on top of the Legend at this
Southern
point.
Cross could be on top of the Legend, although I doubt that. But
We shall see.
definitely,
Running
Stefan's
tide.
going to cross.
Yep.
David big time.
And there goes.
And there's the cross. Now let's look for the second cross, which will be Southern Cross coming to Legend. Your screen, folks. We also have all of the boats that went to port and now tacking onto starboard. They should be on a ley line to the mark. Depends on this wind. Again,
It looks, Reg, from my position, that the tidal wave is going to be on top of all of the fleet.
and that might be because she has the better angle to the mark.
Yep.
Running tide definitely. That's the next cross we look for. Running
Yeah.
tide and tidal wave coming
Yeah.
together.
Well,
Because this is going to be the lead right here.
Yeah, I think number 16 coming right at you seems to be sitting
top of
on
it.
top of everybody else, and I think sitting on her stern, you can see just in the distance. That's the good news.
So here we go. And the tide at this point, that would be very interesting. Legend is still coming over on starboard, looking for that position, not moving very fast. Seems that the best wind is up towards the mark. And so we're seeing the boats all work the left side of the course. There's only one boat sitting over on the right side of the course, the starboard side of the course, and I believe that is good news. She was last off the line. So coming to the mark right now, folks, is tidal wave.
And she's
On ley
definitely
line.
across.
She's across running across Southern Cross.
Yes.
The distance from tidal wave to Legend is the distance tidal wave is upwind of Legend.
Yeah. They're both right now practically the same distance away from the mark. It's just that tidal wave is coming to the from the mark.
So now if Legend doesn't tack right now, there's no chance that she's going to close the gap on tidal wave. Tidal wave will be around, and maybe they're running the same
running
course
tide
that they ran to
has now come back, and it looks like she is going to be holding on possibly to a second place position right now.
You can see the mark here just in front of us, just between the boats, the orange buoy right here, and definitely tidal wave is on that mark. So south wind is steadied out a little bit, not moving around so much.
And I said to him, Brooks, you have to do one for all. And he said, right now while the tidal wave is in front. Whether that's going to be the end result, I have no idea.
Well, I think if you look right on the end of the boom, you might see Raleigh sitting there.
And so here comes the tidal wave up to the mark, and if we can get just a panned out angle heading here, you can see her
Tidal wave around the mark.
going around the mark, giving herself quite a bit of space to go around. Reg up to a reach mark, and then head
Looks
back.
like a reach mark. I believe this might be 2 laps as well. Maybe we can get.
And look at that view just from high above on the drone, looking right down at the crew, and there's Brooks Miller sitting on the tiller, and all of the guys just kind of sitting in the middle, keeping that boat nice and steady.
And tacking in her stern and coming up on her is Running Tide.
Yep.
And look at Legend coming over on port. She's coming right to the mark. She's going to come to the mark, make a slight turn to port on the mark herself. Can she get there before the other boats coming from the left?
And coming hard and fast just to the stern of the Running Tide is the New Courageous.
Dwight is. The only question on Legend is whether she's nimble enough in short courses to handle the smaller boats. And that's what we're going to see right now, because all 3 of them seemingly going to get to this mark before her. Although she's closed the gap very, very quickly on Courageous.
And it looks like she may cross the New
Well,
Courageous.
let's see if she's going to get it.
She's going to get it.
Let's see if she's going to get it.
Now, is she going to be able to swing around in time?
She's got it.
She's got the
tap
cut
right on top.
But the Courageous is probably
Courageous
just
is
going to
going
go
to
by.
go by.
Yeah.
Courageous is on lay line, and I don't think Legend can get her.
And
Just about 3-4 boat lengths to the mark.
but she's definitely in a more forward position. It just
Look
you
at
have
the
to see
look
whether
at the
she's going to
difference
be
in
able to
size.
pick up some speed in time to get around the mark.
She's got that big sail, and she's. Can she do it? Here we go, folks. Boat speed really is what we're looking for here.
Yep.
And here she comes. She'll inch right over the top. Right over the top.
But she's around the mark at this point. She's
They both
past
are.
the mark, and so has the New Courageous. And
So number 5 right in front of us here is Running Tide. Legend in 3rd place. And somewhere off behind the boats here is
the crowd favorite.
Tidal Wave. Of course I did.
And coming up,
We didn't hear a big chair go up,
we-
but we know what's going on.
We're going to see right
You have
now
to be on Regatta Point to get that.
a nice shot of the crew of the Tidal Wave coming into your view. And there are those guys right now. You don't need a lot of people out on the pry. I can see Tyrone a bit. And they've just gone around the Reg, you call it, is it the reach mark?
The reach mark.
The reach mark.
And it's not that far, I don't think. It's just here behind the Carib Warrior.
So the Tidal Wave, you can see her big sail now starting to point back towards Stocking Island. And she's going to make her way back to the marker that's at the monument.
Is she around already, Dwight?
She's
Because
around.
I haven't seen Is there another mark towards Higgins Landing, maybe? She's still going south and east. She's still going northeast.
We're not able to see from this position where there's another
Because
marker.
if she's downwind, we should actually see that big sail swing over.
Direction, so
Yeah, I think there's
there-
another reach
there
mark
might
out
be another
there.
reach mark.
So maybe the drone can tell us that. In the meantime, in the back of the field, what have we going on here?
Well, we've got New Courageous moving just a little bit. We've got Ed Sky about to come around the mark. We've got Rough Justice coming to the mark. We have Southern Red Stripe drifting to the mark. Good news, drifting to the mark.
Red Stripe has the
New
right of
Courageous
way
is really-
on all of those boats that you see coming to the mark right now.
I don't think she has. She
So
doesn't
she
have it
doesn't.
on Ed Sky, so Ed Sky is gonna go,
I don't think she
Ahead
has
of
it
her.
on Southern Cross either.
and she doesn't have it on Rough Justice either. So
She's going to have
all
to
that.
tack back.
it looks like Rough Justice may have the inside on all of them.
Well, here comes Ed Sky around.
Her turn.
So yeah. That small boat out of the way there. On port to get to it.
Southern Cross is going much further down than I anticipated.
And Dwight, I don't understand why Red Stripe would have come that close to the mark without going around it, because now she has to tack right in there.
Well, it looks like
with all those boats coming at it.
She's trying to
jerk away around. It's not going to happen.
And good news now, just going around her stern.
Good news going on her stern. And she might. Let's just watch that. Pretty nifty sailing there. But it's pretty tight. Walks right down.
Let's see what's happening back at the lead, Reg. 16 still up front, the Tidal Wave, followed by number 5.
Running Tide.
Running Tide. And we're not exactly sure, but Reg, we have to assume there's another reach mark, and I think the mark is coming into view.
Yeah, there has to be.
There's the committee. There's the committee boat at the mark.
So now they go around, they'll jibe over that, and they'll head back down to Monument. And on that run down to Monument is where Legend will have her shot at both of
them. Shot may be a stretch. She may have a chance.
Well, the wind's fallen out again, you notice?
Yeah.
It's down again.
And who does that favor, Reg?
It favors the biggest sail out there.
I think so.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So, folks, as you see, it's not a very swift race, but racing all the same. And it looks like the Tidal Wave is certainly still being a slight one as it is.
And Dwight, Red Stripe is just now trying to edge around the mark. Don't know whether she touched it. You can't see from the side, but
she
it
looks
seems
stuck
that
on the mark.
Now moving past, and hopefully she's going to get around without.
She's literally stopped, Reg. Ed Sky has come almost to stop. Southern Cross has now got herself just a little bit of a puff, and
Red Stripe is safely past the mark. Whether she scraped by or not, we don't know. And
good news is about to go by her.
Yes.
Southern Cross seems to have picked up just a little bit of a tougher breeze, and
so Dwight, you have a better angle on this.
By the final reach mark.
Okay, so she's on a run down to Monument.
It's going down to Monument.
And behind her should be Running Tide. Checking the time here.
We're going to check the time to see the difference. Mark. We're up to the 15-second mark. And Running Tide going around. Let's hope she does not touch the mark. It looks like she's safely around.
15, 20 seconds?
About 20 seconds.
20 seconds behind.
To get around.
Okay, we keep note of that 20 seconds at the lower mark to see if she's gained at all. And then we look for time now for Legend to come around behind Running Tide. Actually, we're looking at the scores here, folks, the overall total points, and we're trying to see what the stretch is.
We look at the penalty points, and initially they were saying it was a 2-point penalty on Running Tide. I think what we're seeing now, it was just a 1.25. So she's still in pretty good position, Running Tide. Obviously, if she comes second, she will end up with 6.25 points. Tidal Wave, if she wins, Running Tide will still have enough points to beat her. Legend currently with 3 points. If she comes across in third place, So that would be enough for her to win the overall. So this one, Reg, is it's gonna make a difference right now between the Legend and the Running Tide where they come. The Legend cannot afford to come any lower than third.
Well, I think yesterday David was kind of generous. I don't think you'll see that today, though. I think this is for all the marbles.
This is
today.
for the marbles.
Yeah, so I don't think you'll see that today. And Tidal Wave is on her way to the mark. She'll come out behind Captain C. And
Aerial view right in front of you.
Right now.
And they're stretched out. There's your first, second, and third place boats. Tidal Wave in first place, Running Tide in second place, the Legend in third place.
The Tidal Wave is quite capable of holding her own downwind.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
From
absolutely.
these
And sometimes it doesn't look as big, but the Tidal Wave is a big
boat.
boat.
Look big because the masts are different.
She's a big boat.
It's a big boat. They're all big boats. Just the Legend is a little bit bigger, a little bit more mass. She's chestier than the other boats. And here is Running Tide having a very, very difficult time. What happens, Dwight, sometimes in light air is you take too much weight out of the boat and she gets too buoyant.
She's floating.
So she floats up and she drifts rather than drives through the waves.
Yeah.
And that might be a problem right now for Running Tide.
And that's always a consideration that has to be taken into play when you're setting your boats. How much lead you're going with, how much you're taking out, how much sail you're carrying, and so forth.
So just over the boats we can see, and we're waiting to see Tidal Wave show out behind Captain C.
Well, there she is, Reg, up on your screen. Number 16, stretched out. She's got herself, I wouldn't say a big lead, certainly not a commanding lead, but a comfortable lead.
But she's got a comfortable lead.
Yeah, particularly in this low wind condition. There's that a boat is going to pick up enough wind, additional wind, to get by you when you're already traveling.
We're in a situation where we have these puffs coming, right? And so the boat behind usually has a chance to catch the boat in front because it gets the puff first.
Yeah.
And so it drives down on you, and then the puff passes you, gets the boat in front of you, and drives her away a little bit because you lose it. And so you see this.
Okay.
And that's what we're probably going to see here this afternoon. The difference is, of course, Legend has that huge sail, which is going to catch more air, and it's a bigger engine, simply a bigger engine. And we'll see how she. The fleet, folks, Running Tide, New Legend, Tidal Wave, New Courageous, Rough Justice, Ed Sky. So I would say on any given day, given good conditions, the top boats are going to be Running Tide, New Legend, the fleet, and then sneaking in sometimes there is Rough Justice. Southern Cross used to be a top boat. We just haven't seen from her the kind of performance that we're looking for.
Yeah, well, you know, the Southern Cross, obviously a very old boat. She's been around since, you know, I was a kid. I remember hearing her name.
She's been tweaked. She's got the bow shallowed. She's had the treatment as a sign. So you can see, folks, there is a Tidal Wave.
And it looks
like
Running Tide may be edging up on her just slightly.
Running Tide is to starboard and seems to be making some inroads. And here comes Legend.
That big sail.
We talked about,
and she really just needs to hold on to her third position. And
I wouldn't be surprised if that
comes third.
Yeah,
you can't afford to come any lower than third and hope that Running Tide does not win. If Running Tide wins and he comes third, then obviously Running Tide wins overall.
And you know the thing is that we're seeing a race here. It's not a drift race, but it isn't the power that we were looking for. The wind has come up again a little bit. So at the downward mark, the downwind mark, the leeward mark, you might see again a little switch between Tidal Wave
take a look,
and Running
Take
Tide.
a look at your aerial view, and let's see
Oh, I
seems
think
like
Stephen's
he's trying to get just a little bit to the outside
He's to the outside.
of the tidal wave. Now, going outside, he may be able to get up on her, but tidal wave will still have the inside track
No,
to the mark.
what he's doing there, he's tacking downwind, and he's gonna sooner than tidal wave be able to come at the mark, pull in the sheets, get a little bit more check, and try to run past tidal wave to the mark.
Well,
So he's still gonna have to give a buoy roll.
They're about a minute and a half. That monument
So you're about
mark.
to see it right now.
Which is going to give us a better perspective of where they are. And look at that right now, Reg. That shows you. But look at the legend.
And
trying
so
to
the
take
other
away
thing
some
the
of
tidal
wind.
wave has to look out for here is if she makes a wide turn on that leeward mark, because Stephen has positioned himself where he has, he can block down, shoot up inside tidal wave, get on her weather, and now they have a foot race.
That's Brooks Miller you're talking about, though.
Well,
is he going to allow Stephen to do that?
Ah, well, we're going to see.
Reg, yesterday
I doubt it.
You mentioned the armada of boats that were following the
Yes.
fleet. Look at it out there today.
It's increased. Yeah.
And
Folks,
so-
this is what sloop racing is all about. This is the final big race, this third series race in A class. These are the largest one now has a mass of 68 feet. And seems to be increasing every day, right? And she's the big boat. I want to see what happens. Tidal wave. So we come around the lower mark, these three boats in close proximity, and we're going to see who blinks first. I think is what somebody said. Who blinks first? Blink first means who's going to go over onto starboard tack first. I have a sneaking suspicion it might be Stephen, but I said Stephen learns every lap, so he might just go on off to port this on the other boats. Let's see what happens. Coming up to the leeward mark.
We're coming up to that loop. And I think we can probably swing back over to the aerial view from the. And it's up on your screens right now. We just need to pick up that mark out there.
The mark is going to be just to the left. Just and I think she started already.
Look at Stephen daring Brooks to turn too early. He actually made a move prior to Brooks making a move.
He's still trying to come across the stern. Look at it.
But Brooks has gone around.
Brooks is tight around the mark. Very tight around the mark. No.
Stephen has certainly made up a whole lot of ground because he had a 35-second lead earlier.
Is he gonna get on top?
No, he's not gonna get on top. Not yet, at least.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. He might have done it.
No.
Brooks is around first, but let's see who's gonna point higher coming out of there. If he came around and tucked inside Dwight, here's the thing: he's not going to be able to stay there because Brooks will give him foul air.
Yeah.
So I expect he'll stay there for a minute, but he
can get back to our aerial drone view. I think it gives us a better idea. Just have it zoom out just a little bit so we can see if we can take in the three boats.
Wave leading, coming at us, Legend, Running Tide next. As you look from left to right, and the last boat is A1. Correct. She's not equal with them. She's behind. So
I think we're going to get a good perspective right now, Reg, as we get our drone view to come into play just a little bit more. A little bit to the right, not yet in our camera angle. And as the drone zooms around, Reg, there you go. There are your three boats. And as you can see, they're all on the same line. Back towards coming on the same tack, as it were. Tidal wave out front.
Tidal wave out front. Lined with the other boats. Running Tide's a little bit to weather, and Legend running tide.
Yes.
We're seeing them in line. They're all going to hold onto that
Well,
task.
somebody is going to dare somebody. I can assure you there's going to be some kind of defensive tack or
Well, it
offensive
may not
tack.
have to beat, right? Because look what's happened. The wind has shifted. Where they were heading off towards the Neville base a while on the last round, now look at it. They're heading directly to us. Big shift.
If you remember from the last lap around, Stefan was the only one who came this way. The others went the other way, and he was able to make up some ground. So I'm sure these guys have learned.
But remember, he came this way on port tack,
Yep.
on starboard tack. Now he's coming here on almost 45 degrees in the wind. And so that's taken every game plan out of it. Now it's a foot race. Okay, and who can win
Which
this
boat
foot
has
race?
the most speed? And if you can see the view coming up now from the drone, it looks like the tidal wave has started to just to put a little bit more of a little bit more distance between her and Running Tide. And Legend now seems to have edged up a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a
I don't
little
think
bit.
she has the distance to close the gap.
Yeah.
We need to
Now
know
look
whether
at it.
this is going to be a one lap or two.
Look at the angle that we have
Okay.
on the screen right now. It looks like they are neck and neck. And David, I think, is going to start to get a little defensive.
He can't.
And
He's saluted. He's saluted both
Well,
boats.
out of the line, slightly away from Running Tide. And maybe hoping that there's a little bit more wind out there. You can see those guys moving around.
We can't see the speed of the boats. They're going to finish. This is it. This is the. It looks like we're going to have just the one lap, folks.
And this is so they're sprinting to the finish right now.
Yes, this looks like a sprint to finish, and it will be tidal wave. And it's a pity, but it's only going to be coming together
And
now.
that's probably why the Legend you see decided to get out of the line, because it doesn't make sense just to
just go through it.
get to
Tidal wave was definitely on the mark, and she has a huge lead. There's no chance that you're going to catch her. Stefan is on her weather, but again, he's getting fouled. It's going to be difficult for him to catch her from there.
the 7 points. Quarter points, and we will have the new as the Legend being the new champion of the National Family Island Regatta. Running Tide will come second, and the Tide Reg. This is something that you'd have to consider. Out of the 4 races that were held in Georgetown, the Tidal Wave has won 2 of them. That's a conversation, isn't it? It certainly means in the 3 points race that we've had 3 different winners.
Well,
And
the cup race
doesn't count for points.
Yeah.
But again, you know, this is what sailing is all about. And so there's going
What
to be...
it proves is what I've said, is that Legend might be a boat that is a new iteration, et cetera, doesn't mean she can't be beat.
Yeah.
It just means over time,
Yeah.
while she's going to win regatta, she won BLB, she's going to win here at Georgetown. Will she win Long Island? We don't know.
Well,
Okay.
about it now, it means that Running Tide has bested the Legend in 3 of the 4 races, if you count the cup race. In the competitive race, she's bested her in 2 of the 3 races.
Yeah.
So you now have to then say, at the end of the day, the Running Tide has been the better boat out here on the race course. And if were it not for the points that were taken away from her, for hitting the,
But that's part of it, though.
yeah, but if and lose points for hitting the mark, based on what we're seeing right now, she would be the overall champion.
She would be the overall champion. But if Tidal Wave had done a couple other things, she would be the overall.
We're gonna just race on up
I think
to the
maybe
reach mark
to the
and
reach
then
mark.
finish right in front of Regatta Point.
still, it's pretty much over. If this is only the only lap, and maybe we can confirm that this is the lap.
It certainly looks like the committee
Okay.
boat is racing up to try.
This is the lap, then that's it.
And the running
Now-
tide, has really put some distance
Now,
between
you
her.
want to hear funny end to this?
Yeah.
South wind drops out right now. We have a drift finish. Remember last year, Rough Justice and Legend coming, not Legend, running tide coming to the line. And
Yeah.
Rough
Yeah.
Justice was around
Yeah,
the
yeah.
windward. And running tide went. But I don't think that'll happen today because we can see the water. But here comes tidal wave.
And I'm not sure why she hasn't tacked back as yet.
Well, that mark is moved. Where's the mark? They've gone to set it up here.
The mark may still be just to the stern of,
It's to the
of
stern
the
of
running
some-
tide. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
stern
just
of running
can't see
tide. So come on, tidal wave. Don't come in here too close because Stefan will tack under you. What are you doing here?
Well, you have to be able to make.
Don't come too far into here because you get knocked. You don't point as high if you come in close to the land. So here she goes. Folks, notice to hold that jib across.
Power to catch the tidal wave. If she
Not
catches the tidal wave,
Not in this distance. It ain't
if she
gonna happen.
catches the tidal wave, she wins the overall.
Ain't gonna happen. But I'll tell you who's closing on A1 is New Courageous. Coming very fast. She's got a good lift. She's coming up on top of Legend, locked down, and coming very, very fast. Look at the different angles, folks, and his back's a little bit more southeast. So here goes Running Tide, tacking over on top of Tidal Wave. She's coming a little closer.
Stay
Just
with the
stay
winning.
overhead.
Stay with
Ahead
as she
here. We'll
moves
see
away
that.
to the gun, and let's see if we can get a nice.
Tidal Wave is on the ley line to that finish because if she is, it's over. If she has to tack back, it may be. But
To the stern of the tidal wave and get a view of the finish line. It would give us the best look at
Here
the
is-
finish.
here's an incredible thing, Glenn. Tidal Wave is to lee of Running tack back to come on fourth. Running Tide will have her on starboard.
I don't think she's
right at the.
She's close
Let's
enough.
see.
And my prediction is that the running tide is going to get knocked over to the same position that the tide wave
Well, I don't think so.
currently is.
I don't think so. This is the finish right here. Okay, folks, here's the setup. Tidal Wave heading to the mark. If she's on the ley line, it's finished. If she's not on the ley line and she has Running Tide, which seems to be accelerating right now,
Reg
can
is,
meet her at the line.
Reg is doing a lot of wishful thinking right
I'm
now.
not wishful thinking. I'm
This-
just saying.
This
I'm
race
just
is
saying
over,
how
Reg.
the
It is
and,
over.
is going directly to the mark. So there is no question but that she will win. But if she has to tack, and it's true. There they go.
She's done it.
So
Won
Tidal
herself
Wave takes race
third-
number 3.
3.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
We've had
Legend was Thursday and could have been Friday,
Friday,
but
yeah.
gave it up to Running Tide.
yeah.
And so here now today, Tidal Wave takes it. So we've had races. So each of them have a first.
Same thing in the B class.
Round of the
Miller.
end of racing. Brooks did a great job
Yep.
positioning himself to take
Yep.
this final race.
Took the lead from the
Uh,
beginning and kept it.
This is Legend coming right across now, going in behind the boats, followed by New Courageous. And we're just going to run out the field for you, and that's the spectator boats out here It's just incredible that they have come out to watch this race and to follow. Lots of people on the water. There are some boats out here with out taking people out, and it's really a beautiful afternoon. The sun has come out just as we're finishing this, and on an incredible, incredible afternoon on Elizabeth Harbor in Georgetown. Explain that to me, Dwight.
She was said to be dead.
Yes.
There was a lot of speculation.
Yes.
They should just break her up, burn her for firewood,
Right.
and throw her away.
And here she is.
And here she is, winning one race, 2 consecutive thirds, also winning the cup race. And so I think at the end of the day, Brooks Miller has proven that
she never went anywhere.
That's-
It was never the boat.
yes, well, exactly.
It was not about
exactly.
the boat. It was
exactly.
about the handling and the crew.
Yeah.
And so now we have racing, running tide, tidal wave, and new
Legend.
courageous
Yep.
with the legend coming in to really shake that whole thing up. So
But I must
the
say,
future-
Tony Knowles and be extremely excited
That's all.
to have one.
Go to the chat tonight and turn the chat off because I know what you're going to do tonight. You're
Yeah.
going to see these videos for the next week or 2 weeks. We'll see a video after video. But you guys did it. Congratulations to all of the teams. All of the teams.
Well, there's a certain young man walking around out there right now. I'm here at the broadcast booth, and I think you and I need to have a conversation. We need to do some exchanges.
I think we're going to wait till we go off camera before you and
Finley
get
do that
together.
exchange.
Yeah.
All right.
You
Sounds
know,
good.
you guys can get together after. Folks, we want to take this opportunity to thank you for allowing us to come into your homes to bring what is our favorite sport, sailing in the Bahamas, a national sport. Connected to us, and you know how to do this. Tourism, agriculture, anybody you know, come on board with sailing to be our national sport, and you can see why. This is a great old people, no matter who you are, come out and watch or come out and get involved. Guys who are in the Zuma Sailing Club and all the other young guys who are here to take part, thank you for being a part of this great tradition. Sailing. Thank you so much.
Reg, look at that view from the drone.
Awesome.
Look at the many boats
Awesome.
out there. The armada of boats. Watching from the big screen, taking in all of this action. Sailing brought to you. Congratulations to the National Family.
And you know what I love about this, Dwight? Look around you. All people from all different places, all different walks of life, all different colors, just having fun.
Yeah.
This is the Bahamas. This is why we love what we do.
Absolutely.
So, that's a boat.
We
and you
still
know,
have 2 more boats out.
Ed Sky is a boat that we said on any given day, when the wind blows, she can surprise you. Not today.
Well, she didn't surprise yesterday or Thursday either. But,
well, we didn't have the wind blowing.
you know, not her regatta. She seems to always sail very well in surprising in Montague Harbor. So
Maybe the crew just know they know the
they
forces,
Montague Harbor a lot better.
There
Yeah.
you go. And here comes Red Stripe,
followed by good news.
followed by good news. And those wrap up
We'll just stay.
the third series in the 2019 National Family Island Regatta. And folks, this has been a great week. The weather has not responded as we thought it would. We would have very light winds. Instead, we had good winds, although out of the south, flew handled it well. We only had one boat go down. That was Lady Eunice, and we understand that was because of an infraction. The racing was clean, the racing was good, the racing was fair, and everybody seemed to enjoy it, both the sailors and the spectators. And so we want to thank you for being a part of that. Dwight, any final words on this before we say goodbye to our friends from around the world?
Well,
Okay.
Always say thank you to the many fans that have come out to support racing. Regatta is certainly growing as a sport. More and more people, Reg, are coming out to regattas. Long Island, which is the next big regatta on the regatta calendar, we expect to see quite a bit of folks out there. I hope that either the Lady Mural or the Tidal Wave makes their way to Long Island, because that's one of the things that the Long Island sailors are always saying, that they don't see the Tidal Wave there enough times because they'd like to beat her.
No, of course. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the last time the Tidal Wave did go to Long Island, she beat them 4 straight. So
venue for racing.
yeah.
The breeze there is offshore, so the races all start offshore coming back into. It's a very narrow channel that they have to tack up into, and so the racing is closer, and the winds are shiftier.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't been to, that's a place you ought to start making plans. Get the dates, make your plans to get over there.
Yep.
Accommodations are tight too, as they are here.
Yep.
So and see another Bahamian island. It's our sister island, just 15 miles to my left.
All right. Well, they're right behind us. You can see some of the drone activity, the water, and that's the Island Regatta. If I had one, I'd be out there speeding around myself. But I'm stuck here with you, Reg, doing this.
Just for a little while longer.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go find Ephraim.
Yeah, I'm going to find Finley.
Folks.
And,
okay. So we are hoping, Dwight, that Minister Pintard is somewhere near us, and that he's going to come up. And we're going to we just have a quick chance to say hello and thank you. Comments for us, and then we're going to be out of here with the police force coming. Not the police, but defense force.
we're just going to see a little bit of the defense force performance.
Suit up
and have a conversation with Minister Pintard. How are you, sir?
Good to see you again. coverage of the 66th National Family Island Regatta 2019. With us is the Honorable Michael Pintard, Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, and our sponsor, I want to say a major sponsor for this event, but also the man who is encouraging us to go forward in sailing, which we've been trying to do for a long time. Minister, welcome to Exuma. Welcome to the Family Island Regatta. And Dwight and I would just like to chat with you a little bit about a couple of things that you said. Did you enjoy today?
Definitely. As you would be aware, I traveled on behalf of the government to a conference in Mexico. I returned today. It's a wonderful atmosphere. We expect the crowd is going to be substantial this evening. I understand up to this point it's been very well attended. This is my first time, obviously, in this capacity, but I've always enjoyed this regatta, which is the granddaddy of them all. This is and the organizing committee who played a pivotal role in sustaining this regatta for many years. It's the 66. Really an incredible accomplishment. We have produced some legends that we like to remember. Some of them who have passed, and to say to their families that we are grateful for the time that they spent with us, that you loan them to us, and they have made a world of difference in helping to revitalize the economies of a number of islands. And that is what's so unique about regatta as a sport, that it pulls together Bahamians from every walk of life. On the land side, it's a cultural extravaganza in the world, who compete from their children in the Optimist League, and when they see sport with a number of sport, it is interwoven in our history, it's interwoven in our culture, it's pulling together athletes from throughout the Commonwealth of literally from not only in the Bahamas but from overseas.
Obviously, we're very pleased to hear that sailing is now going to where I think a lot of us have already decided it's there already. But from an official capacity, obviously, when you look around, there's no other sport in the Bahamas that is able to, even though not everyone you see here comes for sailing, but because it's sailing, it attracts them to the event. And so
it is the backdrop against which it all
absolutely,
happens.
Absolutely. And as the president of the Rollville Regatta Committee, obviously I'm very involved in sailing from that perspective. And it's something that we obviously are very excited about, to make sailing a national sport. I think once we're able to do that, I guess we're going to be looking to maybe get more of the schools involved.
Precisely.
Certainly from a building perspective, in addition to the sailing perspective. And I think, Minister, we have a jewel that is so unpolished that when we get this finally polished the way it's supposed to be, we're going to be shocked, and we're going to be kicking ourselves in the foot. That we haven't done it yet to this point.
Yeah, we have had initial discussions with this Minister Roll. Also invited to that meeting was the Minister of Education, who obviously has carriage of school sports.
Yes.
And Minister of Tourism, Dionisio de Aguilar, who has a tremendous amount of resources to pump into sport. So we thought it would be important to bring all four of the ministers who have carriage of some dimension of sports, understanding clearly there's only one minister of sports in the country. And so it was wonderful having a discussion with my colleagues. That was mandated by cabinet. The Prime Minister, like previous Prime Ministers and governments, recognized the value of regatta, decided that it would make the necessary steps to ensure that it becomes a national sport, but for a wide range of reasons, it did not happen. Minister of Sports, it is similarly important to have discussions with all federations.
Yes.
All sporting federations, all of whom are doing an incredible job engaging our young people. Opportunities, building character, creating camaraderie in communities, and of course putting us on the global map, because a number of our sports have accomplished that. And to help them see that in the course of seeking to designate regatta as a national sport, diminishing the incredible accomplishments international
Yes.
stage, that judo and now and swimming and others are
Basketball,
beginning.
yeah.
And it will not adversely in any stretch of the, by any stretch of the imagination, and a respectful discussion that ought to happen.
Yes.
And so that is something we are going to ensure. And then we want to move with the final paper presented to cabinet. So we're excited at the potential, but obviously Bahamians must have their say in any critical decision that we make as a government.
Minister, we more and more and more
Yes.
on board with this. We now have the federation formed, and we have a couple of things to do with that. Dwayne that. We're trying to get the individual organizations like BDOSA and those to go for membership, to expand. And so we are going to be looking forward to talking to you very, very shortly about how we get this definitively into the schools.
Critical things I'd like to certainly leave with the audience is Regatta has such a rich history. It is important that history is documented.
Yes.
We have begun the allocation of funding to make sure we carefully document the history of Regatta, and that we don't have one or two persons making a contribution to that documentation, but that it is a collective effort. And we expect documentaries will be out over the course of the next few months. So the research is going has begun. Expect that at least the first draft, if not the final.
Sir, the beginning of the Regatta comes right here to Georgetown. The beginning of Regatta comes right here to Georgetown.
Yes, sir.
And to some individuals here who've never been mentioned. So those people are going to come.
Critical
to the
that we
forefront,
include them.
and that culture that comes out of it
Yes.
will come to the forefront. So
Yes,
I want
sir.
to thank you for that, sir.
Pleasure.
That's a great, great opportunity for us as Exuma, for people to understand why.
The minister's views on what we're doing. Obviously, this presentation, jumbo screen, live streaming, was started with the best of the best a couple of years back. Long Island was able to present it last year, and now it's arrived in Georgetown. I can tell you from the Facebook views and comments, we have people around the world
Of course.
who are watching from this opportunity. And so this has escalated sailing and regattas to a whole new level.
Yes.
I'm not sure a lot of us yet certainly recognize the particular potential that is now thrown out there.
Yes.
But your view on this whole...
Well, I think the media coverage has been
technological-
incredible, and I want to congratulate the media in general, Cable Bahamas in particular, who really was a forerunner and quite visionary in terms of inking a partnership with the team at the ministry. And I want to commend Barry and Andrew and the entire team. Of course, Federal Ramming, our permanent secretary, very energetic between the Regatta community, other stakeholders, including the media as well as the government. And what is valuable about this is that, as you would know far better than me, we just recently hosted the most decorated sailing and sloop sailing from around the world who came to the Bahamas,
Yes.
was in the Montague waters
Star
at the same
sailors,
time
yeah.
we were having
Star sailors,
the
yeah.
best of the best. And they didn't choose the Bahamas by accident. It is important for them, wherever they are in the world, to observe
Yes.
what their colleagues are doing in the Bahamas, who have that's equally as ingenious in terms of the rules that have been established, the history out of which it has come, and for them to tune in, for them to say to their family and friends, listen, we're going to be in the Bahamas next year, and to invite more persons. They had a tremendous turnout of friends and relatives at the last best of the best. So we expect that the national and international exposure will only increase the participation. And why is that important? It's important for the sport, but it's also important for the revitalization of our communities. Far too many of our young people are leaving the family islands, going to New Providence or overseas. Regatta is the single most important cultural and sporting event that is revitalizing and pumping millions of dollars into our family island communities. And so I think it's absolutely wonderful.
And I can tell you personally, because through our club, the Zuma Setting Club, that we've been in contact with these young people. Minister, they are so hungry for this.
Yes.
They are so hungry for this and so ready for it. They love the water. It's amazing. They jump in this water and they take to it like fish. So, sir, again, all we can do, let us know what we need to do to make your job of getting
everybody on board.
We're going to do.
In that regard, I wish to commend the Honorable Renwood Wells, who did a fabulous job for the short time he sat in this chair, the Honorable Alfred Gray, all of the predators. All of us pulled together, we have the capacity to transform this sport to truly honor the men and women that have built it, and then, of course, to build the communities that continue to support it.
Yeah.
We have to do it as one Bahamas in the spirit of Sir Knows.
Thank you very much, sir. We've been talking to the Honorable Michael
Thank you,
Kinsart,
sir.
Member of Congress, who is the person responsible for prosperity and writing. Sir, once again, thank you so much. That's it.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
And Reg, I think we're at the end of our broadcast. It's always
we can go.
It's always hey, we've got some.
Yeah. But in for Tony and I had a great site.
All of the
K,
Lonesome
Dove,
and now
Legend, David Mills.
Yeah.
David Mills, the big
All
dog.
right.
Heading to Long Island, and we hope to see you there. God bless.
Before we sign off, Reg, one final thank you. The guys, without saying another special thank you to the movie group. Very professional group of young men, hard workers. They come, they get it done, and they make it happen.
Okay, this is our final sign off, folks. Thank you very much. And we're going to say good night, goodbye. We see from the 66th Annual National Family Island Regatta, downtown Georgetown, Exuma in the Bahamas. We are live, Dwight, racing in the final big boy class, A class. Welcome, welcome, welcome from wherever you are watching around the world. I'm Reg Smith, with me, my sidekick Dwight Hart. We have all racing for you for today, the final day of racing in 2019. Dwight, here we are.
I can hardly wait, Reg. I can hardly wait. This is the finale, the end. A-Class, the big dogs, and Reg, we are standing right now. We sat for the first 2 days. Now this is the final race, and we have just given up on the seats because